For more on this and all of the day's top political stories, Steven Portnoy and Meridith McGraw join me now. Steven is a CBS News Radio White House correspondent, and Meridith is national political correspondent for Politico. It's always great to see them both, and now we're going to get their insight, which I'm excited about. The reconciliation bill still has yet to pass. Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema supporting this bill will be crucial to getting it approved. Where does the Arizona senator stand right now? Do we know?
Well, all eyes really are on Senator Sinema right now, and we do not know where she stands on this health and climate bill. What we do know is that she did not play a role in the negotiations for it with Manchin and Schumer. And it was interesting this morning when Senator Manchin spoke with reporters. He addressed some of the concerns that people have about Senator Sinema and getting her vote. He said that things like prescription drug costs and Medicare, things that she's negotiated before, there weren't any changes to that. And he also said that he listened to her concerns about income tax increases. But really the thing to look out for is this red line that she's drawn on the carried interest loophole that allows for some investment managers to have their investment gains taxed at a different bracket than, say, wages. And that's something she said she hasn't wanted closed in the past. It is closed in these negotiations. And perhaps it was included in this bill for a reason, so that if Sinema does want to negotiate here, that's something that Democrats could put to the wayside for now in order to gain her vote.
A very interesting point there. Other international headlines for us to talk about. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is expected to visit Taiwan, according to local officials. The House Speaker initially said this was not part of her original itinerary through Asia. Let's listen to Secretary of State Antony Blinken with more on this.
If the Speaker does decide to visit, and China tries to create some kind of crisis or otherwise escalate tensions, that would be entirely on Beijing. We are looking for them, in the event she decides to visit, to act responsibly and not to engage in any escalation going forward.
Very careful language there. Stephen, what is the White House saying about the Speaker's possible Taiwan trip?
Yeah, the White House won't confirm the trip. John Kirby, who speaks for the National Security Council, came into the briefing room today to essentially tell the Chinese not to overreact if Speaker Pelosi were to make this trip this week. A couple of points. Nancy Pelosi would not be the first Speaker of the House of Representatives to travel to Taiwan. It's been pointed out that in 1997, Newt Gingrich made the trip, and the Chinese did not react with bellicose rhetoric. The White House is saying that the Chinese have had an irresponsible response and have issued irresponsible rhetoric in response to the reporting that Nancy Pelosi might travel to Taiwan. The White House says that it will not take the bait, but it will also not be intimidated. And John Kirby said today that it's possible that China might do things in response to a possible Pelosi visit that could further ramp up tensions and even lead to a dangerous situation. And so he urged the Chinese to remember that nothing has changed with respect to U.S. policy, that the United States still believes in the one China policy and does not support Taiwanese independence. And therefore, John Kirby says there's no reason for China to exacerbate the situation or to overreact.
And I want to make sure we speak about abortion rights. Meridith, a bipartisan group of senators are introducing legislation today aimed at legal protections for abortion rights. What are you hearing about what that text looks like and the chances it has of passing?
Yeah, so this is a bipartisan effort to codify Roe v. Wade. There are 2 Republicans that support it, and it would do things like make sure that states can't prohibit access to contraceptives or put an undue burden on someone seeking an abortion before fetal viability, and also includes protections for religious organizations, so-called conscience protection, so that they wouldn't be forced to perform an abortion. But really, I say bipartisan lightly. The 2 Republican senators on this bill are likely the only 2 Republicans who would vote to put this into law. And as NARAL Pro-Choice America put it in a statement, unless these senators are willing to end the filibuster and pass this measure, there's really no reason to take this seriously. And I think that's how a lot of people on the Hill are viewing this for now.
All right. I mean, in Washington, even bipartisanship light still works these days. Steven Portnoy and Meridith McGraw, thank you both so much.
Thanks.